Tackle junkies, what's going on, everyone? Really appreciate you guys and gals for clicking on the video. Out on the water today, pretty slow day, and you guys asked for, a video whether I catch them or not. I only caught one fish today, and I thought maybe I could run that pattern. It didn't pan out. I'm on a muddy water lake. There's not much vegetation at all in this lake, and what's here is, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, probably not, maybe right behind me here. It's right on the bank. Obviously, muddier water, dirtier water, the light can't penetrate, so you're not going to get much, vegetation growth out deep. So what you do get is very, very shallow. And there are a few spots on this lake that have, patches of grass. And I caught one on the old spinnerbait. That's the old Picasso Inviswire 0.028 on the Meta combo. This is that 7.2 medium heavy fast. I have a few videos on the Meta combos. I'll link them down below. Definitely check them out. But I caught one in the grass, which you guys are probably seeing right now. Not a huge fish. Gave him a free nose piercing. I told him to tell his buddies, and nobody else wanted to play. But what I was doing is running the spinnerbait through the grass, and then I was also using the new Biospawn Exo Kick. The Exo Kick had a couple hits on this, but I didn't get any of those in the boat. And that's pretty much the pattern that I ran all day today, just hitting patches of grass with the spinnerbait and the Exo Kick, swimming worm, whatever you want to call it, speed worm. And like I said, that was the only bass that I caught. It'd be kind of tough to make a video out of that, since I just tried to run that pattern all day. So there's not really much to talk about. So really what I wanted to do is do a rigging video on the new Biospawn Exo Kick. But before we jump into that, I want to mention this week is Members Week. So head on over there to Carl's. Check that out. Pretty big savings going on this week, especially on the Biospawn stuff. I do believe majority of the Biospawn is like 44% off. The new stuff I believe is only like 10% off. The new worms here, the hard bait, the new popper and all that. Like I said, I believe it's only 10% off, but the other Biospawn stuff, now is the time to buy, 44% off. So definitely a pretty good deal over there on that. Of course, other things are on sale as well. Check it out. Got a code for you guys as well. TJ10 gets you guys 10 bucks off orders, $25 or more. New members only, free 30-day trial. Try it out. If you guys don't like it, you can cancel, and you're able to use my code and save a few bucks. Anyways, guys, like I said, I want to do a little rigging video on the Exo Kick, but besides just doing a quick Texas rig video, I thought I'd go over the 3 styles of hooks that I use for Texas rigs. Okay. Got the old battle box here. This is my terminal tackle box. I'll link a video down below on this box. Definitely check it out. But the 3 main hooks that I use are a straight shank. Tell you, let's go ahead and get out the ones I'm going to use. Probably a 4/0 would be a good size. So 4/0 straight shank flipping hook. Okay, straight shank flipping hook. Then we have the round bend offset. Okay, round bend offset. And then we have, let's go ahead and grab a 4/0 in that as well, 4/0 EWG. 4/0 EWG, which is a wide gap hook. Okay? Now, when you're choosing a hook for your soft plastic, really the main thing you need to look at, really 2 things. 1 is how thick is your plastic? 2, where are you tossing that plastic? Okay? I'm not going to go too in depth into this. I want to keep this pretty basic for the beginners. Okay, the 2 main hooks you're going to use: round bend offset, okay, and I want to make sure you guys can see these. I'll put my hand in front of them, and the EWG. It's basically this simple: round bend offset is for your thinner baits, and EWG is for your thicker baits. That simple, okay? If I'm in close, okay, if I'm close to cover, you know, close quarters, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to be close to the target that I'm fishing at, I like that straight shank flipping hook. It comes in and out of cover really well, and it just sticks them good up close, okay? Now this hook here, the round bend offset, it's a great casting hook for thinner baits, okay? With that offset there, okay, great hookup ratio. Probably out of the three, I probably do best with this style here. But like I said, this particular style is really only great for thinner baits. Now that being said, this one here, really all these are from Mustad, but this particular one, I believe they call it, I think it's a big bite soft plastic hook. And you'll notice this particular round bend offset has a bit bigger gap to it, longer neck and a longer shank compared to your standard round bend offset. So you can get away with using this particular round bend offset with some thicker baits, but for the most part, a round bend offset is for thinner baits. Now that being said, the wide gap, like I said, you have to use with thicker baits. You need the gap, and that's why. You need the gap here. You have to have a place for that plastic to go so you can hook them in the lip, right? If there's not enough room for the plastic to move out of the way, well then you're going to basically fill that gap with plastic and there's no room for their lips. You're going to miss fish. So when you're choosing a hook, just make sure you have enough gap, okay, for the plastic that you're using. But this hook right here, there's quite a few of you guys in some of my videos that kind of like to rip on me a little bit with how I set the hook. And you'll notice when I'm using an EWG, I really don't set the hook. And that's really what I'm doing. I'm obviously casting the bait out there, and when I think I have a bite, I'm barely just kind of picking it up. I'm really wanting to feel the weight. And I think it's the video, really, the video when I'm using the, what's that stuff called? The bait fuel. I'm using the bait fuel. And in that video, I'm not really setting the hook just because, for one, you can tell they're small fish. Two, I'm waiting to feel that weight before I swing on them, okay? And that's the deal really for me with this hook. I do way better with this hook when I feel the weight and I just kind of reel set them or I just kind of pull away. When I jack them with this hook, 9 times out of 10, I miss them. For me, with my experience with this hook, it's more about the pull than actually cracking them. So when you see me use this hook and you're like, hey dude, you're not setting the hook. I'm not. What I'm trying to do is see if they have it first. And like I said, you can tell them little ones pecking at it. But when I can tell they have it, when I feel a good amount of weight, then I'm pulling on them. I'm not really gonna set the hook with an EWG. But this one here, with that offset, you can definitely get away with doing that more just because of that offset. When you set the hook, okay, that hook point is offset from the eye, so when it comes out of their mouth, their lip can sink down in there and get hooked. Where with that EWG, you only really have this small section here. So if their lip don't sink down in there, the hook's coming out of their mouth. Okay, that's why with a pull, I feel it gives their lip, you know, just a chance to get down in there to get hooked versus you just cracking them, okay? And like I said, this hook here is a great hook for shallow cover. It comes in and out of cover really well. And with it being offset, hookup ratio is really good. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the EWG. Let's go ahead and get a little vial bug out of here. You still got that bait fuel on there. Okay, EWG. Okay, again, the hook point is in line with the eye. So for this rig job here, and guys, these are all Mustad hooks. You guys can use code TJ81 over there at Mustad. I do believe it's 20% off over there. I'll link it down below. Definitely check it out. But all three of these are Mustad, and you'll notice all three have a little pin on there. It's called a grip pin. It just keeps your plastic up on the hook. With an EWG, you want to go straight in the head, and I go into the bend. Okay? Then I'll come straight out, like so, slide it up over the pin and over the eye. I like my knot inside the plastic so it's protected. It'll rest there right on that pin. Line it up with your thumb. Get it as straight as you can. And you come all the way through. Okay, all the way through. Okay, bait's nice and straight. Then you'll just pull that plastic back a little bit and tuck that hook point in the plastic, which makes it weedless. Bait's nice and straight. Okay? Now, with a straight shank, it's offset here. Okay? So we'll start going the same way, just like we did with the EWG. Go in, come out. Okay? Now I'm going to rig it wrong here just to show you guys why you can't rig it the same way as an EWG. So we'll go over, spin it on the eye there. Now if you were to go all the way through, okay, all the way through like that, there's no way to really bury that hook point in the bait. And if you do, your bait's going to be all crooked and it's just going to pop out of there. Okay, even if you get it like that, on that angle, that hook point is constantly going to tear out of that bait and you're going to be more snagged than what it's worth, right? So what you do is you line it up. You guys should be able to see it on that side. You line it up. Okay? That's how it needs to go in the bait. Bait's nice and straight, and that angle is what you're looking for there. So now I'll put it on my side here. I'll line it up. I'll poke it there at the bottom. And all I'm going to do is grab the bait and just pull it till it's straight. You can kind of manipulate it a little bit once you got it on the hook there. But make sure it's nice and straight like that. And then you can just feel the hook point. It's right there under the plastic, okay? But you want that bait nice and straight. Again, that hook point, it's right there. And this type of hook, you want to jack them. It's not going to have any problem at all penetrating the plastic and their lip. Nice and straight. Again, do not bring it all the way through. The hook point is literally right there. Okay? Again, you're going to go straight into the worm to the bend. Okay, and an easy way to get it straight, when you come out right on that seam line. Okay, slide her up. I'll show you with this hook as well. If you go all the way through, like so, you can see the angle of that hook. For one, it's going to make your worm not straight, and two, at that angle, it's going to constantly pop out of there and get you snagged. So again, you just kind of lay it on the side, just like that. I'll do it on my side so I can see it here. Start it, and then just kind of pull on the plastic there until it's straight. And again, that hook point is literally, it's right there. I can feel it in my skin. The bait's nice and straight, like so. Hook point is buried in the plastic, so it's weedless. But again, it's right there, right underneath the plastic. No problem at all getting through the plastic and through their lip. This type of hook, again, you want to jack them. Well, that'll wrap up the rigging part of the video. I want to go over the combo real fast. Guys, this is probably one of the more versatile combos that I own. It's the Akuma Psycho Stick 7'2", medium heavy, fast action. Use whatever brand that you like, but that power and action is one of the most versatile power and actions that you can get. Great bottom contact rod, single hook moving baits. I mean, you name it, it's a good do-all type rod. I do prefer a 7-footer if I want to be more accurate, a 7.3 to a 7.4 if I'm looking for distance, but a 7.2 is a happy medium. Again, the Akuma Psycho Stick 7.2 medium heavy fast action, using the Shimano Metanium in a 7.1. Anytime I'm using a rod to to work the bait, like a bottom contact bait, worm, jig, something like that. I like a bit faster reel just because I'm using a reel just to pick up slack. For the line, I'm running 15-pound Seagar Tatsu. Anywhere from 12 to 15-pound test is a great starting point. You can always go up if you're around, you know, thicker cover, bigger fish, using heavier gauge wire hooks. But 12 to 15, like I said, is a pretty good starting point for open water, sparse cover, just your standard wire, you know, if you're not around giant fish. I mean, 12 to 15, great starting point. 15 is what I use majority of the time. A good thing with Seagar, the diameter is really small, so even if you'd want to use a lighter pound test to have a faster fall rate, give your bait more action, whatever the case may be, in most cases you can kind of go up with Seagar's pound test just because the diameter is pretty small. So anyways, that is 15-pound Seagar Tatsu. Guys, that should wrap it up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to smash the thumbs up. Love you guys. We will see you guys on the next one.